gentlemen, welcome to a Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. Beautiful day today in Maine, very warm, on the muggy side, but not stiflingly so. It's about 75 degrees right now, and I'm gonna do probably a basic 5 mile tonight, just because it's one of those things. That's what I feel like doing tonight. We'll do a little bit of selfie view shortly. Well, we got the big beautiful bill in a vote-a-rama right now by the Senate. A lot of gamesmanship goes on in the Senate. This bill was so big, I'm bound not to get everything wanted in it. A couple of things I'm not happy about is the Second Amendment stuff. Short barrel rifles and silencers, suppressors. I think both of those got chopped out of it. And that's because the Senate parliamentarian says it's not a budget issue. And according to the budget reconciliation rules, they can't be allowed. I think they can be. So do a lot of other people. And that parliamentarian has been there since 2012 and doesn't like Trump. They don't like firearms either. So the Senate can fire her, but I don't think they will. And I don't think they have the gonads to do that, even though they should. So we'll see what goes on with that. They have to get the bill somewhere where the Senate will pass it. The thing is, though, Mike Johnson was very clear. Don't go too crazy cutting too much of the budget out, because then the House, on the final vote in Congress, may not approve it. And the danger of this is it's such a big bill, it's almost too big to fail, because Republicans have to pass it, which is what I was saying a couple walks ago. I mean, they have to pass it because it means there won't be border funding. Basically everything Trump ran on is in it, so it's one of those things. So there's going to be a lot of people that don't get everything they want. I guess is my point. But that's democracy, I guess. We'll get most of it. A lot of the sticking points right now seem to be on whether or not this increases the debt of the country. The Congressional Budget Office says, first they said it would like trillions of dollars, and now they're starting to figure in the tariffs and things like that, and they're going, well, maybe this ain't as bad as we said it would be. So we'll wait for this fire truck to go by. Kind of unusual to see a fire truck coming this way. So anyway, the Congressional Budget Office is always wrong about everything, no matter who the president is. It's to the point where I don't even know why they have one, because it's always wrong. They just don't factor a lot of things into it. Like when President Trump's first term, they didn't factor the explosion in economic growth from tax cuts. And they're doing the same thing here. So well, we'll turn the camera around now. Hi everybody, J.Beau here. The other thing going on today is Elon Musk is getting upset with this bill again, and he's running his mouth again. And today he said Congress should be ashamed of themselves, and that he's going to see to it that certain congressmen are primaried next year if they vote to support this thing. It's like, I'm thinking, you know, Elon, why the hell are you doing this, you know? I mean, it's like he doesn't understand how things work in DC. Everybody would like to see the government spending come to a halt 100%. Okay, but this was decades in the making. You can't have one bill that fixes it. And I'm surprised somebody as smart as Elon doesn't know that. Budget reconciliation instead of the filibuster. If you need 60 votes for anything in DC right now, you're not going to get it. It's going to get filibustered into 60 votes. Budget reconciliation is something they can't filibuster, meaning they, the Democrats. I mean, does Elon really think that both parties care about the people? No. They care about power, gamesmanship, getting money for their districts, that sort of thing. Stuff that Elon calls pork. So there's been a lot of pork for a long time. There's stuff you can't get out of this bill. You just can't. This is the democratic process. This will go a long way into correcting the ship, but there isn't one bill that's going to fix everything. You know, Elon's acting like the CEO of a company. We don't have a king. We don't have a CAO, okay, CEO. We have a president who can't do anything without Congress. So that's just a fact. Congress is Congress, is Congress is Congress. That's what has to be dealt with. That's what everybody has to deal with, okay? Congress. You can get upset at it, you can get frustrated, and you can say it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it is right now. This is what we have to work with. So Elon Musk threatening to primary congressmen is going to piss off Trump again. Trump told him not to do that. So Trump expressly told him not to do that. And he's doing it anyway. And Trump hasn't responded to it yet. It just happened 3-4 hours ago. I'm sure he's going to be pissed. I don't blame him. I'm going to turn the camera around because really beautiful sunset. So Elon Musk is, you know, he gets billions of dollars subsidized from the US government for SpaceX. And there's possible government contracts with Tesla. And, you know, now's not the time to be pissing the people off like that. And like I said before, after Elon Musk did the Christmas thing with the H-1B visas, and then he ended up having a tiff over this stuff and said all those things about Trump and Epstein Island and all that. Elon Musk is on my crap list. I really don't care what he has to say. President Trump's going to win against him every time. So on the day that they're voting for it, now he's going to run his mouth, try to influence some politicians into second guessing their vote because they don't want to be primaried with somebody that's got money like Elon has. So I'm sure Trump is going to respond to that. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. Votorama can end later this evening, or it may go into tomorrow. Basically, the Democrats are trying to stall and delay as much as possible to cause the deadline of July 4th to come without this being passed. And it's just the Democrats delaying, causing problems. They actually did an amendment and they demanded that the entire bill be read. Okay, the entire bill was read yesterday. It took 16 hours for the clerks to read the entire bill front to back. And then it opened up to 12 hours of debate on it. So that wasted an entire day. And it's just the Democrats wanting to delay and make Trump's bill late so it won't be ready for July 4th. Because Trump wants it ready for July 4th. So after every vote that they've had a new proposed amendment, which opens the floor for debate on the amendment, and then they have to vote on it. So every time they introduce an amendment, it adds hours. Well, it looks like we got a Dead gopher. Looks like he got messed up. He got flattened. It's a dead marmot. So anyway, you know, they're going to sabotage as much as they can, as much as possible, and on the hopes that one of their amendments does pass, like the one that's being debated and voted on right at the moment, has to do with health care for women, proposed by a female Democrat. An amendment saying that removing coverage was discriminatory towards women, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, there's no such thing going on. But, you know, these people are outrageous, man. They just want to delay. They want to make Trump's bill late so it's not ready for July 4th. That's all they care about. They know it's going to pass. Most people are in agreement it's going to pass. Because there's no do-over on this. If this doesn't pass, that's it. So everybody gets a 68% tax increase. You keep paying taxes on Social Security, taxes on tips, tax upon tax upon tax. And then everything is going to have to be done with a filibuster individually, smaller bills, needing 60 votes, which means nothing is ever going to get done because Democrats just won't allow it. Republicans would want to give free households free groceries. They could want to give free groceries for 5 years, and the Democrats right now would vote against it. They'd find some way to say it's bad. So that's where we are right now. So this bill is going to pass. It's really looking pretty much like it will. I think Tillis, who was holding out for the Republicans, is going to vote for it at the last minute. And pretty cool. The 1972 Beetle. See that? I know that because the license plate said Beetle 72 on it. Little old lady driving it. How cool is that? That makes my day. So there you have it. The real problem is going to be when it goes back to Congress, the House. And that's why Elon Musk is threatening them with primary. And we have to see how Trump responds. And it's a damn shame that Elon is doing this because, you know, this benefits the average person. It's not a tax break for billionaires. That's a lie by the media and Democrats. This will create more wealth in this country, more jobs, better paying jobs. The economy is strong right now. Unemployment is low. Wages are going up. Interest rates are coming down. Soon it will. Powell's going to have to because inflation is, there really isn't any right now. A whole ton of other countries have already lowered their interest rates. They're just holding out because it's Powell and he doesn't like Trump. So Tomorrow is going to be interesting day. Because one, the big beautiful bill is going to pass either late tonight or tomorrow late tonight, if you know what I mean. And then Trump is visiting an alligator swamp in Florida. They're building alligator Alcatraz in Florida. It's going to be a detention facility for illegals, the dangerous, angry, criminal ones, the rapers, the murderers, the drug dealers, the cartel members, the gang members, people violating gun charges, that sort of thing. And so Trump is visiting that tomorrow. A couple of Florida Congress people will be there. Trump will be there. Ron DeSantis will be there. Governor of Florida. I'll be sure to watch that one. Should be interesting. Should be very interesting. So today, finally got my license plates. Well, I got my plates in the mail last week. And I got my tags in the mail today. Last day of the month. My registration expired day after today, tomorrow. They would expire tomorrow, tonight at midnight actually. I needed my tags for my license plate. What I didn't need was the Secretary of State, Shenna Bellows, who is running for governor, by the way, to say, we're running late. They're taking a long time to process the tags. The local media is blaming the Postal Service, which really pisses me off because I know who to blame. It's Shenna Bellows. They didn't organize this well. They just said, well, we need new plates. We're going to force people to get new plates when they go to register. They won't have a choice in the matter. Their license plates will be free if they don't customize them. Well, I have personalized plates, and I like having those. I got to keep those, but get this, I had to pay extra for the plates, and then I had to pay extra for having a personalized plate. So that was $70 extra just for that, plus the registration. So it's like, are you kidding me? Plus the registration's a scam anyway. They're taxing you for something you already own. I don't even understand what a registration fee is. Why do you have to register a vehicle you paid for? It's a tax, it's a fee. Anyways, it's all taken care of. I do like the new plates. I took the ones that don't look liberalish. It's got a pine tree on it and a star. They look nice. I don't mind them. And my plates that were on the car, one of my plates was starting to blister, the clear coat that's on it. They've been on there for a while, and a lot of license plates are looking pretty terrible, which is why she did that. I understand that. But, you know, it's like everything Democrats do. Oh, let's just do it and worry about how it works out. Well, you get people delayed 30 to 60 days for their tags, having to drive for a month, sometimes 2 months, on expired registration on your plates. So she goes, you can go ahead and put your new plates on your car, and if you get pulled over, just show a screenshot that you paid for your registration. Oh, okay, so the hassle is on everybody else because you couldn't do your job properly. I get it. So anyway, it took 2 weeks to get my tags. I'm glad I bought them when I did for the end of the month, and I didn't wait until towards the end like a lot of people do. They're still waiting for tags. They'll have expired tags on their car or license plates with no tags. At least the license plate came. Some people didn't even get their plates. So there you have it. There's Democratic Party governing right there. Governance. I knew I'd get the right words out there eventually if I kept reaching for enough of them. So I'm sweating pretty good already. So I shot some video shooting my black powder pistol, and I didn't like how the video came out. I shot 2 different angles, and I was shooting at tin cans. They weren't really doing anything because you shoot the can and the lead ball would go right through the can and the can wouldn't go flying like it does with 22s. So I was watching it and I was like, nobody's gonna want to see that. So I scrapped that video. You'll have to take my word for it. It was fun. That's how it goes. So I get my walk out of the way just as it's getting towards dark because it was hot today. I actually washed my Mustang and waxed it, cleaned the wheels, put some tire shine on. It looks nice. And it was hot. So there you have it. So I got that done and got my new plates on with tags, everything squared away, legal, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get this walk out of the way and then I'll wait around and see if the big beautiful bill passes in the Senate, which it should. And then it will go to the House, which they'll wrestle with that most of this week, I think. Big hurdle though is the Senate. You get a little more wiggle room in the House. The 218 seats. You got more people to work with. You know, Republicans have the Senate by 53. Can only afford to lose at most 3 votes. And J.D. Vance, the Senate president, would have to break the tie to make it 51, or less than a tie, actually. But you can't pass something 50-47, in other words. It has to be 51. 51's the magic number. So the Senate has been working since Friday, pretty much around the clock, all night long. Last night they suspended around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Started again 9 o'clock this morning. So a lot of them will go straight to sleep after that in their office or whatever. A lot of them will have a hotel room to go to. So we'll see if this wraps up tonight or not. Democrats are trying all of their delay tactics, every single one of them. And anybody with a rational brain honestly believes Democrats care to give Trump a win, to be bipartisan for anything, is out of their effing mind. It's not going to happen. They can't even let him obliterate a nuclear program in Iran. Something they should be cheering about. So, President Trump's on a roll right now. He's got a whole string of wins. And very important to get this big, beautiful bill out of the way and with enough time for everything to kick into play so people feel the effects of it before next midterm elections. That's really the entire goal, is to feel the effects of this before midterms next year. So, if this does in fact close hospitals, which there is a provision in there for certain small town hospitals to get funding, so there shouldn't be any big problems. But that's what a lot of these people are worried about for midterms next year. And of course the Democrat media, which I'll just call it what it is, the Democrat media, there for the Democratic Party only, with a fake neutral smile on their face, claiming that they don't pick sides, but every time you watch them, every single thing on there is geared towards making Republicans look bad, or exaggerating things that happened, or half-truths, out of context video. Absolutely maddening. But, you know, there's a lot of older people that still watch CNN and all that stuff, and they don't understand because they're not really on social media, a lot of them, and they don't really understand how bad the media lies. They may not completely trust them, but I don't think they understand fully how absolutely horrendously awful they have been. So Trump wooed a lot of older voters with no tax on Social Security. That was something that that was important to do. And so that's why the Democrats are just constantly, it's going to close hospitals. They're trying to get these people to call their senators and congressmen and say, don't support this. I'm too afraid. Well, the Democrats use fear. That's what they use. That's their number one tactic, their number one shtick. So it looks like my younger brother is going to be flying back from Virginia pretty soon. Booking a flight for Friday, I think he said. He'll give me the details later. So I'll have to drive and go pick him up in Portland, Maine. Now I want to address, if you're somebody watching this and you're not a subscriber and you just want to reply talking crap, like 2 people did this week. One person was kind enough to tell me how boring I was, and another one was your usual liberal, they're angry because they're losing and they're lashing out at people. I just wanted to let you know, if you're one of those people watching this, I don't really care. I have a delete button, and I also have a ban button, which now is a hide this person from your channel. I'm not going to reply to you. I've had a whole bunch. I haven't replied to anybody. I just block you and I remove your comment. So unless you have some constructive criticism, which actually makes sense, and you have a legitimate debate about something, leaving a comment like you're boring, you're old and ugly, or whatever the hell it is you want to say, with swear words or whatever else, I'm not going to reply to anybody that insults. You know, why would I? I don't understand why you guys think that works. I got better things to do than get into back and forths with people that 98% of the time you have zero content of your own on your channel, like nothing, and that's all you do. You just go around on YouTube and start crap with people. So block, 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 block. So anyway, we'll move on to the big beautiful bill on why it should work out well. There's a lot of misinformation. You can go to the whitehouse.gov website for the big beautiful bill that dispels all the myths. And you can also go to Google and search for the Big Beautiful Bill Act. You'll get the official act that they're voting for on, and it's the official government website. It's not media or anything. Click on it, and then when you're on that page, click summary, the tab that says summary, and that will summarize what it does and what's in it. And then if there's any parts that you want to see, you can go ahead and just read it for yourself. You don't need the media to tell you everything, right? So you can just do that. And easy enough, right? So the Big Beautiful Act, Big Beautiful Bill Act, will be a .gov website. Now a lot of times when there's something available to read like that, some bad actors will buy a domain name that'll be the Big Beautiful Bill Act.org or .net or something else besides .gov. .gov is an official government, and a .org is usually an organization who will make a fake website that gives you misinformation, either knowingly telling you that they don't support Trump's bill, and they have their propaganda, or something like that. So I did not walk yesterday. I did walk the day before. We'll walk by the park here. We got some kids using the swings and playing basketball. They're running their dogs in the field, which is nice. See the dog's happy tails wagging. Sun will be down shortly. Whew. Definitely warm tonight. It's going to be humid tomorrow too. Tomorrow though, we're expecting some severe storms. So I don't know how that's going to affect my walk. But I'm not walking in a lightning storm, obviously. So I will plan my walk accordingly. If it comes in a window that I have to walk, and I'll cancel my walk. That's all. If it clears out and goes away early enough in the evening, I'll go for an early evening walk. We shall play it by ear. You know, when these big bills come around to be voted on, that's really when you get to see how awful and sleazy these people are in Congress and the Senate. I really don't like grandstanders. Right now it's Senator Tillis, North Carolina, who after Trump chastised him, he announced he's not running for re-election, which is good. North Carolina went to Trump by a big margin, and the district that he comes from is a big Trump district. So, and the other thing is Rand Paul. Rand Paul, all of a sudden, for the past, since Trump's been elected president, has not really been supporting Trump. So, he was against the tariffs. He led a Senate vote to try to stop Trump's power to have tariffs, even though it's constitutional for him to do that, which the Supreme Court ruled on. He has the authority. So I don't know what the hell's gotten into Rand Paul, but I don't like it. He hasn't been supporting anything Trump supports. He didn't support taking out Iran's nuke program. Doesn't support the tariffs. Doesn't support the big beautiful bill. And he's basing that on being steadfast and that it's going to increase the deficit. And Trump doesn't know what he's doing, kind of thing. It does increase the deficit. But this is budget reconciliation. There's no new spending. Tariffs are paying down the debt. That's going to be the standard normal now, collecting these 10% tariffs at least. Some countries more. And a lot of wealth is going to be coming into the country. And you know, these people like Rand Paul just want to stop all extra spending. Well, so would everybody else, but that's not the world we're living in. You know, and Rand Paul should know that, and he does know that. So that's why I called him a grandstander, because he's just grandstanding. He's standing with Democrats, and I don't know why he thinks that helps him. So, I've also seen that support for the big beautiful bill from the public has dipped a little bit, and that has to do with all the fear-mongering in the media. You know, that's why the media does that. That's why they do that. They're helping Democrats. So whenever you get a Republican siding with Democrats on something, it really makes me extra pissed off. It's like they're not acknowledging what the real problem in DC is. Far left extremism, to the point that it has divided us, where voters are angry when you vote with Democrats. That's the product of that. We're always fighting uphill and against everything. Democrats have billionaires, tons of money. They own the media networks. All we have sometimes is us and Trump. That's it. If it wasn't for Trump, what do you think would be going on in the country right now? Hillary would have won that election. Let's say Hillary would have won that election after Obama. She probably would have had 2 terms, and we would be deciding on a rhino Republican right now, maybe somebody like Mitt Romney again, or somebody like that, maybe even Paul Ryan. Against whoever the Democrats put out there. And they would have had all this time. Trump exposed the media for the liars they are. He exposed the whole DC system, the corruption. All of that would still be blind to many people. And we would have a Justin Trudeau for president. That's how consequential and important Donald Trump is, okay? So, don't ever forget that. Would still have vaccine mandates and being forced to wear masks if Hillary was president. Nothing that's going on right now would be done. Nothing we've seen up to this point would have happened. And they wanted to go along status quo with all this corruption they had, bankrupting our country. Nothing would have been done about it. So, everybody talks about fixing it. Everybody talks about work requirements for Medicare, for able-bodied people, Everybody talks a good game, but then nobody does it. Now Trump has these guys working and doing something, and both sides are scared and nervous because they can't do what they've always been used to doing. So we'll sit back and watch it happen. I'm going to trust in Trump. That's who I voted for, and I trust him. And if it turns out to be a mistake, I'll own it. But it isn't. I know it's not. There's no way anybody with a straight face can tell me that giving people back their own money is a bad thing that's going to hurt us. That is absolute foolishness. So I'm along for the ride, man. 100%. All in. All the way in. That was a nice tractor. I used to love tractor trailer trucks when I was a kid. In the 70s, it was pretty popular. I bought model kits. So, get the rest of my exercise in this evening. My back's feeling better than it did the last walk we went on. Well, there are all kinds of things to celebrate today. We have Independence Day coming up soon, July 4th. And we could celebrate today that it's the last damn day of Pride Month. Woohoo! I don't know about you, but I really didn't hear anything about Pride Month this month. It was Veterans Awareness Month. Officially, which is a much better holiday. Wondering if I should cook some spaghetti tonight. Might be good, actually. Yeah. I think I just might do that. Again, pasta is not something I eat regularly. I buy 2 boxes of spaghetti a month. It's not something I eat a lot of. I don't eat bread. I don't eat wheat products. I don't eat cookies. And that has to do with gluten more than anything. Most of the gluten-free stuff really is not very palatable. But things like rice bread is okay. Rice is great. Eat a lot of rice instead of pasta. Now, I'm not doing a social contagion fad kind of thing, which some people do. I legitimately had medical problems caused by gluten, to the point that I had to get scoped, had imaging done. Had imaging done with contrast dye. Found out what the problem was, where the inflammation was. Turns out it wasn't anything bad like they first suspected, and I suspected as well. And it turns out it was just an autoimmune inflammation triggered by gluten, my small intestine. So I got celiac disease from that, and the main culprit was cornflakes, because they used modified ingredients, malted barley, which is very bad. Now, if you look at the old cornflakes were very healthy. But then the corporation said, well, we're going to replace the sugar with corn syrup. We're going to put emulsifiers in it, preservatives. We're going to put malted barley because it's cheap, and it gives it the consistency when you buy it. When you eat it, it stays crunchy. And they poisoned me with it. I used to have a bowl of cornflakes a day for 20 years. Well, after a while, it started causing problems. And it started out with partially loose bowels, and then it went to loose bowels, and then very loose bowels. Like, I would eat something, and then 4 hours later, there'd be cramping and diarrhea, and it's not good. So I got checked for all the bad stuff, had testing done, and they were basically saying, well, we don't know what the hell's going on. They said it's not cancer, it's not anything bad. We can't figure it out. So I did a little research on my own online, and I diagnosed myself, and then I mentioned it to my doctor, and he was like, oh, okay, well, that's not something he's used to seeing. So I had some imaging done, CT scan with contrast dye, and also had my colon scoped just to make sure before that, which was not a fun experience, especially at the age I was at. I was in my early 40s when I did that. I was like, supposed to be too young to need that stuff. But anyway, we found out what the issue was. That's all that matters. I changed my diet. That's all I did to fix it. No medications, no prescriptions. He wanted to give me some kind of prescription for my immune system. Nah, I don't want that. Why are you guys always pushing drugs? Always. Told him I didn't want it. I was like, is this gonna clear up on its own if I change my diet like I want to do? He goes, I don't know. Probably. It's never going to be 100% if there's scar tissue, which there is. So, okay. I trust my immune system. I'm not going to take some kind of drug that's a drug made for autoimmune responses. I'm not going to do that. So, within 5 weeks of changing my diet, my bowel movements went back to normal. All I did was I cut out bread, wheat, cornflakes, cut all of that stuff out. Substituted pasta with rice. And there's a lot of things that don't affect you As far as gluten goes, things like potatoes, vegetables, rice. A lot of people will say rice is fattening. You don't want, well, if you buy packaged microwave rice, yeah, it's cooked in oil. They cook it before you get it, and then you open the package and you cook it again. Very high in fat. Salt too, usually. But I buy rice by 20-pound bags. It lasts a very long time. Costs $15. Gets tons of meals out of it. It lasts forever. Season it yourself. I boil mine. Don't even have to strain it. Get parboiled rice, you don't have to rinse it first. You don't have to wash it, and it's not all starchy. There's different kinds of rice. And they're all about the same price. Basmati costs a little more. But, you know, just try different ones. A little salt and pepper. Sometimes it's chili powder. Sometimes it's onions with potatoes with the rice. Ground Hamburg. Very good. Good for you too. So anyway, I changed my diet and started losing weight. And then I started walking and really lost weight. Well, that's my story. That's where I am now. Your body is always talking to you. You need to listen to it. So anything that's not normal is not normal with your body. It's telling you something's causing it. And since literally 100% of your health comes from your food that you eat, that's the first place to start. So basically, if you put cheap gas in your car and you never change the oil, your car is going to run like crap and it's going to die sooner than it should have. So, it's the same thing with you. There's also a MAHA portion of this bill in the Big Beautiful Bill Act that removes artificial ingredients and dyes and things like that from foods, especially foods given to kids, candy and things like that. A lot of good things in the Big Beautiful Bill. I'm waiting to see what gets cut out of the bill. They better not cut the defunding of Planned Parenthood to prevent children from being mutilated. If they cut that from that, I'm going to be pissed. I mean, really pissed. Like, I'm going to be making phone calls. Won't be Trump's fault. Trump's not a king, despite what the media likes to say. Can't do anything without Congress. So we just hit 4 miles. Got about another mile left with you on here. So we got 4/5 of the walk done. And again, you know, if you're watching this, you're skimming through, and you don't subscribe to my channel, and you think the commentary is boring or you don't agree with it, well, it's an exercise vlog, okay? It's not a political blog. It's not a podcast. It's just an exercise vlog. Just some guy, me, who exercises every day, pretty much. And I'm going to be 57 soon, next month. And when I'm walking, I just talk on here and say what's on my mind. There's really no narrative, there's no agenda. It's just a walking vlog. I'm just walking for my health. I'm not here to entertain you. I don't sing and dance. I'm not a comedian. And quite honestly, if you criticize, I really don't give a flying F. And like I said earlier in this walk, if you're rude, insulting, and you're not raising a legitimate concern, you're going to be hidden from the channel, which is on YouTube means you've been blocked. You won't be able to see my channel. And I will delete your comment. I'm not going to reply to it. I don't reply to those comments. So there's no point in leaving them. You know, this isn't Facebook. You know, I don't use Facebook either. Part of the reason why I don't is because of stupid crap like that. And almost always, you guys don't have your own content. That's all you do, is you just troll other people's stuff because you're too lazy or not witty enough to make your own stuff. It's a lot easier to sit back and criticize somebody else. Make fun of how they look or how they walk or how they talk, or, you know. So if you think I'm boring, I really don't care. I can guarantee you I think you're pretty boring too, because boring people leave comments like that. That means you lack self-thought and find it easier to insult people than to actually have a conversation about something important. So, go fish. So right now we're getting towards twilight, dusk, and right now the picture is going to start getting shaky when I walk. That is unavoidable unless I put it on the night mode. But the walk's almost over, so we'll bear with it tonight. I'll try to hold you steady while I walk best I can. So basically, I'm in this almost every day for the exercise more than the conversation. But while I'm walking, you know, I have about 5 or 6 routes that I walk regularly. I alternate depending on nighttime, daytime, time of year. Some parts in this town, the sidewalks are not cleared, so there's snowbanks, and I'm not walking in the road with traffic. So, but the point being is there's only so much view and vista. So conversation is, it just gives me an avenue to keep it mentally exciting while I'm walking, basically. Or else we'll pass this business here. I've passed 3 million times in 5 years walking every day. So I feel very good. I feel very fit. I feel very healthy. I feel better in the past 5 years than I've felt in the last 15 when I was 40 or 50 pounds heavier. So I've managed to keep the weight off, and without really trying to. I just change my diet and I walk. I don't starve myself. I eat all the time. I love eating. It's a great hobby. I think one of the worst things people can do is starve themselves to lose weight. Because mentally it's counterintuitive. You're going against what's normal, for one thing, which means it's doomed to fail eventually. Those aren't gunshots, by the way. They sound like gunshots, but they're not. It's July 4th, at least I hope they're not gunshots. And it's that time of year where certain fireworks sound like firearms. Most of them don't. Anyway, what I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by a battery dying, is that certain doctors will eat one big, huge meal a day. They'll eat one big meal until they're absolutely stuffed. And then they won't eat again until the next day. And for one thing, one of the worst things you can do is eat before going to bed, because your metabolism changes. And you'll have a more difficult time sleeping. I can't go to bed on an empty stomach. My stomach's empty, I have a hard time falling asleep. So I'll have a little something to eat about an hour before going to bed. At least an hour, you're fine. So that's enough time where you're not getting hungry yet. And it's also enough time where you get good sleep. Good sleep is important to being healthy. Now, what I want to tell you is, before I changed my diet, I had terrible insomnia sometimes. Sometimes I'd be up for 2 days, 2.5 days, couldn't sleep. And it was like that for a while. And, didn't know what it was. Everything changed when I changed my diet. When I stopped eating processed foods, no microwave dinners, nothing, just real food, and started exercising every day, all of that went away. Even now, Sunday morning, I can sleep 10 hours on Sunday morning. Most nights I sleep about 6. Sometimes on Saturday, well, we have range day on Saturday, so my sleep is cut short intentionally because of the hours. My brothers that I like to go with, they like to get range day out as soon as the sun comes up. So, or somewhere early in the morning, soon thereafter, they have other things they have to do during the day. My older brother's got a wife and she wants to do something on Saturday, so, and my younger brother travels a lot, so it's better for his schedule to get that out of the way early. So, one of those things. But changing my diet and walking fixed everything that was bothering me. My blood pressure was starting to get borderline. I had 40 extra pounds. And, now I don't have that issue. So it's a very important thing. One of the biggest things for blood pressure is weight. Extra weight shoots your blood pressure up like nothing when you're over 50. So, if you're on blood pressure medications, then it's not an issue. I'm just saying, I didn't want it to get to that point because I want to try to avoid taking all these prescriptions. So far, so good. I'm going to be 57. I got no prescriptions for anything. So that's good, right? Anyway, we'll be finishing up this walk up ahead. We have some people having fun in the road here. Soccer ball. Some Biden imports. That's right, you heard me say it. Biden imports. I'm going to turn the camera around. Across the street up ahead here as soon as these cars go by. So I got quite a few nice comments, which is good, across the different videos, for firearms mostly. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Ruger Mark IV, probably one of the best 22 pistols ever. And I gotta tell you, that Walther Colt 1911 A1 that I just got, we have another one. They're both awesome, and absolutely fantastic firearms. Absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend those. This one was $384. Which is overpriced. They're usually, the MSRP is $399. Typically you can find them for $349. So, but everybody was sold out. That was literally the only one I could find. I think it has to do with Trump's tariffs on Germany imports, and I think when new ones come in, they're going to be a lot more expensive. So if you can find one of those now, I would recommend you get one now. But good luck finding one, I guess is what I'm saying. So I would imagine firearms that come from Turkey, which are a lot in this country, probably won't go up very much at all, if any. So people should be happy about that. Germany's in the EU, and the EU is not easy to deal with. So Trump has to manhandle them a little bit, which raises the price. But that's nothing we didn't know would happen. That is what Trump campaigned on. Prices have been going down. I wanted to talk about that real quick. I did groceries the other day, and I actually saved about $30 from what I usually spend. I wasn't really paying attention when I was shopping, so I went on the website and looked up stuff that I bought, and I noticed things like frozen meats, and the price of meat itself has gone down quite a bit. So, all right, I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to sign off with you guys. And really want to thank you for watching and understanding what this is, which is an exercise walking vlog. It's not a political podcast or anything. I just talk about whatever pops in my head. You know, guitars one day, vinyl records the next. You know, President Trump one day, big bad, the big beautiful bill act on another day. Talk about firearms a lot, just things that matter to me, and we've talked about a lot of things on these walks. So don't be so serious about it, okay? Don't be so serious. So anyways, my friends, with that, I'll say click like and subscribe, share the content, be good to one another, and try not to swear so much. It's not good for you mentally. And say a prayer. You don't have to tell people you're praying if you're one of those people shy about it. He's the only one that has to listen. You don't need an audience for that. So anyway, God bless you all. Say a prayer for Trump and the country, and say a prayer for the big beautiful bill act, and we will see you on the next walk so we can talk about the Democrats losing even more. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye bye. God bless. See you soon.